It's a story we've been following for more than 18 months now, the crippling effects of lockdowns on Aussies and their livelihoods. And with government funding like JobKeeper drying up in recent months, support has been hard to find.
Enter Adoptashop, a brand new support project which sees bigger businesses link with smaller operators to offer financial assistance. Margaret Lomas is the Aussie behind the project, and she joins us now along with small business operator Michael Sheen and Switzer Financial Group founder Peter Switzer. Good morning, guys. Margaret, first to you. It's a fantastic concept. How did you come up with the idea?
Well, about a week ago, I was just sitting over breakfast and looking over Twitter, and a friend of mine, Neil Genman, had tweeted that if only all of the bigger, more prosperous businesses could just look after one small struggling business themselves, we'd all get through lockdown okay. And then next minute, the name Adoptashop just popped into my head, and I ran downstairs, made a website, took me about 3 hours, and I guess I've been sort of making it up as I go since then.
I love this idea. Cam Williams, who's a great mate of mine, put me across it yesterday, and then I had a look at what you've done and what you've been able to do in a week, and I think it's wonderful. For those who don't know, how does it all work? Because I know that there are some big businesses around Australia right now who are doing well, and then you've got a small shop that may not be. What happens? How do they link up?
Okay, so I want to really point out that the idea behind the whole initiative is that it isn't about mentor support, it isn't about angel funding, it's not about helping a small business just grow or do a little bit better, or helping those businesses that, okay, their turnover has dropped off, but they're getting through okay and they're managing to get some supplements. What it is about is those small businesses who just won't make the end of this or the next lockdown. So it's about matching them up with a big business who can then pay all of their really critical and basic expenses just to get them to the point where they can begin to look after themselves again. So it's things like their rent, maybe supplier bills, power bills. We don't cover wages, but we're just looking at getting those really critical expenses, which are really the thing that will make or break a business in the next couple of weeks.
It's such a great concept,
Terrific.
sharing the love. Michael, you're one of the many small businesses doing it tough right now. Give us an idea of what your situation is like at the moment.
We're a travel company, have been working for about 30 odd years, and after lockdowns and the closure of international travel, etc., and particularly the last lockdown, it's just been incredibly tough, very, very tough. I think we feel like we're just business survivors and barely surviving at the moment.
And there's no certainty, is there, for the future? You don't know what's going to happen.
Absolutely none.
So how do you plan around that as a business? Peter, you've generously got behind the project, which is wonderful. You're going to support Michael's business. What does that mean in terms of your involvement there?
Well, I've used Sheen and Partners Travel for years, and I knew what kind of plight they're in. And this is a really good business, and there are a lot of great businesses out there. I know our businesses in the CBD in Sydney. We've got cafes around us that usually are packed, got no customers whatsoever. And I just think that even though our businesses struggle, we can't put on our live events anymore. Having a financial planning business, we still can do things on Zoom, but you can't send people overseas on Zoom for travel. And I just think that all of us out there who are doing really well should think about the businesses that we can help. And I think there will be a payoff. There'll be a goodwill effect, but also the businesses that you help, they'll talk about you. And Margaret on the website, Adoptashop, is going to have logos of the businesses that help. All up, I think this is going to be a win-win situation. And I think the success for businesses out there right now should be helping the strugglers.
That's a huge show of generosity from you. Michael, what would have happened if this money didn't come along?
It'd be difficult to continue, quite frankly. We discussed closing and moving the business, and it's the last 4 or 5 weeks particularly, we took a lot of money in the business for the school holiday period. And of course, with the beginning of the lockdown, it meant every bit of money that we took in, we need to refund now. So not only do you refund the client's money, but you refund the commission you made on it. So you end up behind the 8 ball, you know, and you use that commission to survive, and the business needs to survive, you know.
And then you've still got staff members, you know, cash flow is an issue. Look, Margaret, how do you marry...
There is no cash flow.
Yeah. So how do you marry up a bigger business with a smaller business, Margaret? How is that done, and how do bigger businesses identify and get involved?
Okay, so first of all, I'd really like as many of those bigger businesses to get involved as possible. And if you think about the fact that this might cost you $5,000 or $10,000, that's probably not going to affect your bottom line that much. So what happens is the bigger businesses will let me know that they're interested, and the smaller businesses will also let me know. I go through a fairly vigorous process of looking at all of those costs that that small business has and try to work out which are the ones that are really critical to keep them moving. I have a lot of years in business myself, so I've got a good handle on that sort of thing. Once I can bring it down to a weekly figure, I then put it out to the big businesses who have generously offered their help and ask them to find one that they would like to help. It might be someone even in their own building, that cafe at the bottom of your building, that one down in the mall that no longer has foot traffic because the mall is basically closed down. And then I match them together and oversee that match. So by bringing it down to that $1 a week figure, it's much easier for me to say to the bigger businesses, this is what we need, who's got that kind of money? And there, from then on, I'll monitor the whole match, and I'll stress again, it just goes to the end of lockdown. It's emergency lockdown relief.
Good idea. Really great idea. Well done to you all. We wish you all the very best. And Michael, particularly for you, you're in a spot right now. May we be travelling very soon, and all the very best in the meantime. Thanks for your time today. That's terrific. And Margaret, we'll put Margaret's website too on our website so you can connect through, try and get involved. It's good,
There are
isn't it?
some good people in the world, aren't there?
Yeah.
So many.
And a lot will need that. A lot will really need that.